Welcome back, fellow stackers. Silver Gold Man here, aka Connectingdots1, Connectingdots2, and Connectingdots3. Okay, folks, wicked show here coming up tonight. This is just my invitation video, just to let you all know it's going down at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just going to touch over some of the people, some of the things that I'll be talking about in tonight's show, and I've also read your comments from yesterday's show, and if you haven't seen that, this is the video here. It's an hour and 28 minutes long. What can I say? We kept finding stuff to talk about, and during that hour and a half, that's where these 10 minutes came in here. I've shortened it up a little bit, but basically I went over some of the footage that had come out here about the condition of the sea life here on the Pacific West Coast, more specifically Idaho Islands. And, well, basically that's where that footage comes from. So I edited a part of it, and I'm going to, continue on here with my very first Google Hangout show 2 days ago, where I spoke about this martial law, the Jade Helm, and how Dabu 7 was lying to people about these. Well, he was calling them microwave dishes. They're weapons, microwave weapons that they're going to use on civilians. It's just bloody disgusting. Go watch the video here. It's in the very early part of this video here, even though it's 58 minutes long. At the very beginning, I deal with the whole confusion. I think within the first 5 minutes, you've dealt with it. Now, as you know, something I've mentioned here, I've asked you folks to change what you expose on your YouTube channel. Join me. Let's do the disinformation gang. Add your group there. I highly recommend you see all. Now, pay attention to this guy here. I've mentioned before how this is Don Harrold. He'll come back in here at the end of this video. It ties right back into this guy here, who's been on mainstream news, Squawk Box. You know, how can you be giving out financial advice, invited by the mainstream news media, and suddenly find yourself on YouTube with no track record except really connecting up with all the fraudsters? And that's what this tonight's show will be about. Me continuing to connect the dots so people can see exactly what's going on. And because of my, I've been out here for a long time here. I'm written up on multiple forums. My words are still saved, except for I think there's about 2 or 3 forums they've closed down. You can't see that stuff. So one of the other things I've spoken about here, folks, is that you disable this part of your YouTube channel so none of the fraudsters show up, and that's what I'm going to be getting in tonight. So this fraudster, who I know from a long time, he's changed his name now. He calls himself Tom Lacovara, whatever, Truth Media. Don't be believing this bullshit. This is uploaded on April 20th, and yeah, what can I say? It's disinformation gang, but they all tie in. That's the best of it. And he actually gives me a shout out. Listen to this.
Connectingdots2. Hello, folks and friends.
So that was kind of interesting, and I'll get into them because really it is a circle jerk of corruption, and it's only when you know who all the players are you're able to make the types of videos that I can to connect the dots and show people, hell, look how they all tie up. So yeah, here's a bunch of fraudsters here trying to pretend that they're military men, and I'm not saying there aren't. There's definitely some Freemason Illuminati that are absolutely military men. They're traitors. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about us. In fact, most of those men, what I've seen here, they're men that don't have children. It's the one thing I've mentioned before in my previous video. You become a man when you have your child. Oh, I know a lot of you. No, I'm 35. I'm a man. I'm telling you guys, the moment you have your child, your first child, unless that's a shitty relationship and you don't have an opportunity to bond with that child, then you probably won't undergo the same feelings that many of us undergo. When you get that first child, it changes your perception of the world and what's important to you. And unfortunately, many of these corrupt people that are on YouTube, they don't give a shit about you. And many of these military men, well, they don't have children. They just don't give a shit about you. So I'm going to continue on here busting these scammers because that's how they all tie in. And I got to thank Kafka, Winston World, who's she's connected up with this fraudsters. It's very... I like that because she actually made a video, and that's how I connected some of these people up here. So I'm going to go very quickly over some of the material that I'm going to go over tonight. This is not the video, but someone had mentioned, can you please talk about the difference between the 3.9 silver and the 4.9 silver? Well, that's great because that whole purity of silver all ties into tonight's video and how they really tried their best. They really did try their best to hide the truth from stackers, but in the end, I won. And you know, this guy here, Mark Vett, who ended up leaving the forum after contacting his professor at his college to find out if I was correct about the Canadian silver maple leafs being 10 times more pure than any other silver coin. Well, he felt ashamed. I mean, I'll go over that tonight. But he trashes me in the beginning of this thread here, which, by the way, I had mentioned before, how it all connects up. It is a circle jerk. And look at the very top. Who do you have? Realist News. That's JSnip4, YouTuber JSnip4, connected up with JM Bullion. Connected up with Free Speak. Now, I'm not going to get into them, but you may notice at the top, Italian 69. And this is where it gets interesting, folks. Like I said, I've been around here for a long time. They did their darndest to hide the fact that I was on to something big about the purity of the silver maple leafs and how you could have got them for way much cheaper than any other silver. It's a smart way to stack. I'll get back into that tonight because let me tell you, they sure did delete a lot of my threads here at Realist News. But like I said, in the end, people found out the truth. I was 110% correct. Okay, but what's interesting is how they all tie up, folks. So I'll get back into some of these people, but I really want you to, to get informed, and that's what tonight's show is going to be. It's about informing you about the precious metals. It's going to be informing you about the I used to call them the government's Shill network, silver Shill network, but really now it's the circle jerk of corruption because I've tied Corey CTV and many of these people, stellaconcepts with Mike Maloney. It really is a big, huge, fat circle jerk of corruption. And they give each other shout-outs, no doubt.
Well, I just wanted to give my recommendations. I watch people's videos all the time. There are some people that I can't stand, which I'm not, of course, going to mention. And there are some people that I watch all the time. Specifically, Corey, it's H1INC. I'm not sure if that's H1 Inc. or H1INC.
And here's the thing. It doesn't matter what YouTube channel he gives you because Corey C here is just like Don Harrold. As I said, I'm going to end up the show with him and this video with him because it is about them hiding who they are. They keep switching. So Corey CTV has numerous YouTube channels. He's switched over the years because we kept busting them. Most of us that are hardcore stackers are not easily fooled by these people. We've been on their ass non-stop since I think roughly around the year 2010, 2011 was when we started going after these sons of bitches. So they open up various YouTube channels, the Internet Hall of Fame, and they try to make them sound like they're heroes. But in fact, they're actually zeros. This is important here. Here he is, 12 Gauge Angel, who I'll get in tonight, is someone I actually showed here earlier. He's the one who was giving me the shout out where he mentioned connecting dots. But here he is again talking about good old Corey.
Hey, what's up? It's Corey.
Hey, Corey. What's going on? It's 12G. So, you out there spanking those asses down at the pool hall tonight?
No, man. I'm just kicking it.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking back to the old days,
The old days is when they used to troll me. So Corey C here actually made a video about me because I bet everyone $200 in January 2011 that silver would not fall to $25 an ounce. And this is, I believe, was the second week of January, right after David Morgan, who's known for silverinvestor.com, had come out and made a video, uploaded a video on YouTube, saying the same thing, that silver was going to drop below $25 an ounce in 2011. And that was the first week of January. And then after that, a couple of days later, we had stellaconcepts come out and say the same thing. And that's when I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. I can see that circle jerk of corruption, although I didn't know it was a full circle back in the day, but I could definitely see it forming. So Corey C made that video hoping to bust me. And in the end, he had to take it down because I was right. Nobody wanted to bet me $200. I would have made a shitload of money. I'm telling you, in 2011, if all these mouthpieces had actually stood up and actually bet me the $200. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here because I just want to let you know that 12 Gauge is who? Yeah, they featured with Italian 69. So this is going to be interesting tonight. I'm really going to continue connecting the dots and informing people on silver and the scammers and disinformation gang here on YouTube that are out here giving you absolutely bad advice. I mean, I busted. How many more do you want me to bust, folks? Just leave it in the comments, and yeah, slap every single one of them sideways. I know every one of these con artists and how they're connected up, and that's why I'm called Connecting Dots. Hope you enjoy.